Hi everybody, your monthlies are finally coming out. I really had to kind of resolve in my own head how to do it to balance between everything I want to do for you and my current inability to actually donate as much time. So I decided to go free flow. And free flow, it's not going to have any kind of spread attached to it. I'm simply going to ask possibly different decks to give me messages for you, and we'll go with that. And this is sort of like really high level message that it's going to tell you where you can go and to what you can amount and what you have to watch for, like sort of like basic kind of like let's go for it kind of thing. I'm going to give in my bi-weeklies, which are always on the 1st and 15th published, so I'm sticking to that. And for those of you who are looking for X situation or on and off, like there are also those series that are coming out every month. Now, before I move further, I actually want to send a shout out to everybody, and hopefully you will be joining in this particular proposal that I have. So I'm in the process of actually building my own card deck. It is collaboration between me and Mira, a wonderful, extraordinary artist. And so we are bouncing off the ideas back and forth. She's adding her basically touch to it, and everything that I have seen so far is like coming out really wonderfully. Now, I would actually like you guys to have your own touch to this basically making. And so I'm not doing this haphazardly. I don't know how much you know about me. I'm also a marketing professional. So I'm trying to select a group of people, 10 to 20, that, can give their 2 cents. And this is not like kind of a call for you giving accolades. This is really, I can understand this message in it. No, I cannot understand message in it, because that way you're going to set us straight to be on the right path. And so I'm trying to actually select these 20 to have men and women, people from all walks of life, people with all kind of tarot experiences, from, hey, I'm just here to watch it, to, yay, I am basically a guru. So if you guys are willing to jump on board, please go to www.cattarot.ca/focus group and just like submit your application. Why do you think you should be the one in that group? And I really, really appreciate everybody doing that. This is non-paid position, and it's purposely non-paid position because I do want you to give me a rough time. And this way, it's going to be a really wonderful creation, because sometimes I may be too much up in the air. I'm an air sign, and maybe I need to be grounded a little bit more because I really like abstract. Other people really like ground. So hence, this collaborative kind of like pointers would really help to set me and Mira sailing in a better direction. And it's going to be a few rounds of this. This is a very, very first preliminary round. And I'm really, really thanking in advance to everybody who actually spent time even listening this plea, and especially to those who actually apply or participate in a study. Thank you so much, and I look forward to applications. All the best. So are you ready? Let's start. Let's jump right in. Hi, my dear Scorpio friends. Let's see what is October bringing for you. And lucky people you are with October the 10th, switching to Jupiter to lucky Scorpio. So I remember where it was in Aquarius. Don't expect the same day. It's going to kind of give you a lottery kind of winning. However, it's going to be a shift that to some extent you're going to really notice on October the 26th, which by the way is the best day for all signs. But you in particular, the sun is meeting Jupiter in your sign. Hello. Make sure that if you have job interviews, if you have special dates, if you're organizing something, to organize on 26th or on 25th. So let's jump in. I'll probably going to fix this sunshine. As some people say, you have the white spot on your table. Well, that's what sun does. But I'm going to lift the cards to camera so you can see it. So the very first thing that I did was picking up a rune. And surprise, surprise. And guess what? I really love watching your readings. One, you didn't have a good time for quite a while. And you proved to be a very, very strong sign. You know, sometimes I see people screaming, oh, I just want a positive. I only want the upright, cards, this and this. Okay, you know what, lady? Hollywood is this way, I'm this way. You guys worked and worked and worked and worked until we saw that Scorpion turning into eagle, and now it's turning into phoenix. You're getting the best rune, so there is always a pot of gold at the end of the tunnel, guys, and here you are. So, Savella, or the Rune of Sun, is basically the pathway to victory. And you guys like this kind of things, right? So this is expressing the life-giving brightness, glory, good fortune. This is all basically associated with our parent star. October 26th, again, right? So when this appears in the reading, you basically are almost like getting warm glow in your fate. It is traditionally said that this rune can undo any harm that any other runes or readings can do, right? I'm almost like holding it with a special reverence. It is just like when I see this, it does look like a thunder, but you guys can handle thunder. Like Aquarius, Aries, and Scorpios kind of can weather the storm. And now, this thunder for you is bringing the sun out. So, this reading is going to be both general and love. I'm going to tell you everything that I see. In this particular case, this is also connected to virtue of justice. If you are, thinking about getting involved or are waiting for a judgment, then this is assuring that a fair judgment will be given. And then if you're one of the litigants, that most likely the fair verdict will go in your favor. Now, this is also linked with the workings of the human heart. It's considered a very good omen for your love life, and it's adding warmth and affection, and it's kind of taking away that coldness and hard attitudes. And if you just want to be honest for a second, you guys are not cold and you are not heartless. However, when you're suffering, when you're cold, you're a fixed sign. You close the doors around and you just cannot deal with anybody. And what is great about you guys, that you have that phoenix capability of resurrection. You go and close these doors and you work and work and work until you rebuild yourself. So this is right now telling me you guys finished the job and finished it with flying colors. This rune, by the way, as you see the other side, has no inverted meaning, just like the sun. Up or down, it's always the sun. This is always predicting a long and happy partnership. So I didn't pull the second rune because the second rune, Vunya, can indicate a marriage. But I think for now, I really want to bless you with this contented partnership and true love and justice to be done. So I am actually using a whole bunch of things. I'm using Earth Magic. I'm using Osho Zen. I'm using the Law of Attraction Tarot, and I'm using my, what is this called? Pagan Cat Tarot, just for those of you who are asking for the cards. So these are my high-end spiritual messages, guys. And you're getting a lake, and oh my gosh, can you even see that in this sun? What if I do it this way? Oh my gosh, it's this kind of like interesting shadow. Let me see if I can prevent this. Give me a second. Here, better, right? Okay, so let's see. Lake. I can't, and I know I'm probably, you had this before because This is asking for the inner work still, but with emergence, you are at the end of all this work. This is basically asking you to ensure that the lesson you have learned over the last while are internalized and are continue to be internalized. Look at this. Everything is still. Even the pretty little boat, right? So, isn't this exactly the opposite to the times we live in? We are immersed in this technological landscape. We kind of like never get to experience this serenity. You go out on a date, and if the person goes to the bathroom, you grab your phone because, oh my gosh, it would be horrible looking around, or just thinking what kind of thoughts come to you. It just keeps happening. Minute after minute after minute, you're getting engaged with something. Guess what? When you're engaged, the growth really doesn't happen. The growth happens in those moments when you go inside, not the outside. So this is telling you, since you guys did it, since you kind of probably did beat that hurry up syndrome, and you kind of realize that there is quite a bit of work that will help you that has to be done inside. This is now asking you to remember this and keep doing that, because this is kind of like going to relax your mind and heighten your awareness. Because the next stage over here is your Dragonfly stage. With Dragonfly stage, you guys are ready. You're launching up. And this is not a slow process. You see, Dragonfly kind of like keeps going from keeps being as a larva in the mud for, I think, up to 4 years or something, right? And then it kind of crawls out on a leaf, and it just like goes directly from egg directly to nymph. So, and this basically then quickly generates and goes into Dragonfly. So then this kind of beautiful being, this honestly to me is in this cards, because we don't have Phoenix. I think this is equivalent to Phoenix in this card, and this is like, look, connected to this third eye. This is that uplifting force. It's like you're shooting up, literally, like within this month. So this kind of beautiful being is like illuminating our eyes and hearts as we kind of like enjoy these colors and this kind of magical dance. But what are those colors? These are chakra colors. This means we are in alignment. This means that, we don't have to have any kind of contemplation or indecision. We kind of like are actually prepared. So this is telling you that if something happens to you suddenly, that you basically do have the tools. You have already learned how to get somewhere. Because this means that life is demanding that you're moving into the next stage of maturity. And that's going to require you to adjust your thinking about yourself, also about others, and about your community. This is asking of you to shed ego. Ego is what makes us jealous. Ego is what makes us possessive. Ego is a defense we have to have because we feel hurt or we feel injury. Ego is when we feel that we need to find people who will do what we want to do. Well, I'm not saying that go and find people who will harm you. No. Don't get me wrong. I'm actually exactly not saying that. I'm saying that with this new energy, you're actually not going to even attract people who will be doing such a thing. And I'm trying not to wave. I'm trying to not to be in front of camera because my camera has this on autofocus, and it kind of like takes and tries to take which one is the important element. So of course, if I'm waving my hand, it starts to be foggy. So I will try to minimize my emotions, and I don't know how much this bothers you, but people were pretty harsh on me in that respect. So the message from the other deck is the Queen of Fire. Well, this is kind of interesting because you're Queen of Water. So water, fire, kind of like, right? They're not the best friends. But we are talking about characteristics. So that's the dragonfly whoosh, you're just like getting this like fiery, passionate existence, right? So this is somebody who is basically dispensing her treasuries without any limits. Look at it. She's offering. Like the offering is like something you can give, and that's something that is really wonderful, right? So when this card shows up, hello, Sololo. Watch this out. It's basically suggesting that most likely you'll be finding yourself in a situation and kind of like at least have an opportunity to share your love or share your joy, and kind of like that you can sit and laugh with each other and even about yourself. In sharing, you'll find that you will feel even more full by giving out yourself. And hey, if you are into sensuality without possessiveness or attachment, this usually, Queen, is talking about giving birth to a child or to a new project, which kind of equal sense of connectivity as if there is a child. So, this is your fourth center, your fourth chakra, when your whole life becomes a sharing of love. The third center has kind of created the abundance of love, the solar plexus chakra. So by reaching to the third center in meditation, you basically start to overflow, and you're flowing with love, compassion, and now it is time to share. This is, guys, what you did when you closed these walls. Now these walls are all coming down. This is like why even in the ordinary world, people think that love comes from the heart, because now we are going up to this fourth chakra. For some people, that might be just like hearsay, well, I don't know, but some people who say, well, I don't know where the love comes from, maybe they never felt it. Now, the person who is in tune with tarot, or in tune with Reiki, or in tune with meditation, or in tune with healing, they know what I'm talking about. It's like that feeling of when you breathe with full lungs and you're feeling this blissfulness, kind of like almost like benediction, that is kind of rising within you with force, right? So this is what your basically center is going to tell you. Your heart center is just in the middle of all of your 7 centers, right? 3 centers below, 3 centers above. You have come exactly in the middle. You are balancing yourself out in many, many directions. So quickly, let's see what can be happening in this time period. Interestingly enough, also you are getting wands, and you're getting 1 cup here. So this would be you. That's kind of like with the emotional response. And maybe I should give it to you, because it's kind of really nice to keep that and hold a crystal ball in your hand, right? So 8 of Wands. In this deck, it's not the same as in the other deck. So this deck has a completely new divinary meanings. Here it's basically talking about gratification. And it sounds to me that for quite a while you maybe have a dream that you want to fulfill. And maybe this is a dream that is involving either a family or your partners. Look, have you ever tried to beat the table cream to get this like whipped cream? You do know this is just like a level up. You know this is something highly gratifying, highly enjoyable. So, guys, is that a love with a foreigner? Or is this a love with somebody who maybe is not living nearby? Because this card, I think that will be the Knave of Wands as well. This basically is always foretelling about some good news and short trips, and that can be even some kind of contacts from a distance, which in the regular deck would discard mean, right? But all Wands are this passion, all this kind of sharing. You guys are now taking these walls down. You are overflowing with that energy. So people will just gravitate to you. So open yourself to study, open yourself to travel. That's going to be extremely beneficial. And you'll be like actually meeting people who might not be exactly people who you used to acquaint with, but you're going to really learn quite a bit just like by removing these walls and blocks. And I'm not talking just about dating, I'm talking about the social contacts and going forward and everything. Because this card foretells success. And, well, so let's talk about it. Because, you know, I'm not a tarot reader that I just throw away. Oh, just book Tiffany appointment because somebody will be taking you for your wedding ring, etc. Success happens after struggle. Anything in life takes time and takes effort. So be prepared to give this effort and to defend that dream that you have. This is talking about ambition, expansion, and abundance. With this rune, I'm wondering if some of you might be, applying for jobs or have a different take on your partner, or maybe if you're ready to date somebody who is different. Maybe date somebody who you will literally not to be able just to like sit through a date, but you will really have to open your eyes and ears and ask lots of questions. Really kind of be a detective. This is like a really good fit for you because that way you can learn so much. So imagine somebody from a different country opening the world for them while they open the world for you. It can be a really wonderful and very gratifying experience. And then you're going to ground that with you being this water. And I'm leaving this for the last because in this deck, this is a crystal ball and means imagination. And here is that Tiffany ring. What are you dreaming of? Are you dreaming of engagement or marriage? Or are you dreaming about some meaningful phone calls? Are you dreaming about a new job? Guys, I am bringing you your crystal ball. Most likely, you'll get it. And let's see what is Tarot saying this month. We have King of Wands. We have Five of Swords. Queen of Swords reversed. And the High Priestess. It is kind of very interesting because this is Queen of Wands and now you have King of Wands. So that's again talking about some coupling or really working really hard to be with someone. You will have to overcome some obstacles. This card is saying that one person here is completely clueless. Look at this pretty kitty. This pretty kitty is really thinking I'm all that. It's coming to get reward. It's like living in this kind of like dream world. And look at these two kitties. They kind of don't like that this kitty took all the toys. So be careful to check your lay of the land. Meaning we all affect others, even though we most of the time see how others affect us. So I generally don't spend this time to other signs doing this, but I know you guys get it. You're Scorpio. You can go as deep as possible. This is saying try to see how your actions affected others. And that's going to be a really meaningful lesson for you because you cannot change things that you do not acknowledge. And kind of like seeing, oh, wait a minute, sure, I don't like that, I don't know, he was not completely transparent with me. But then you have to see if maybe it was something that you did that maybe somebody climbed down. I'm not saying this happened. I'm not saying this is that or this is that. What I'm saying is it's never 100% zero. It's always kind of like something that we have to see as an opportunity or as a disguised opportunity. When I do kind of like my marketing campaigns, just like in this focus group that I asked for, I actually really want to discover what people dislike. That's way more important than what people like, to eliminate the negatives so they can allow people to walk through our dislike. So this is like what you guys will be doing this as a discovery. Now this is kind of interesting. When Queen of Swords is reversed, it is some kind of harshness. It could be some kind of secrets. It could be some fly in the ointment. But even if it is, this is, remember, like stillness. The High Priestess is somebody who, well, let's get really sophisticated here, who goes into fourth dimension. So what is the fourth dimension? We are living in a third dimension, right? So the very first person who mentioned the fourth dimension was Albert Einstein. He defined time as the fourth dimension. So fourth dimension is, and it's kind of really interesting to give you like really brief, basic lesson in physics. So if you are sitting, let's say, on a train and you're watching things outside, you are noticing that things outside are moving. If you're outside and you're watching the train, you notice the train moving. So you see, it is kind of like talking about our position and how we observe the motion. So Einstein just took it on a high level, that what he called accelerated systems, if I remember my physics well. And he came up with this theory of creativity, which we all know E equals mc squared. So in that theory of relativity, there is certain kind of like a thing that time influences. The High Priestess is basically the boss of time. There is a reason why there is black and there is white. You see, these are the absolute no's and absolute truths. We do know that we actually live somewhere in the middle, as they say, this 50 Shades of Grey, which I movie don't like and don't recommend. It's awful, and I'm not talking about kinky sex. You guys do whatever you want. I'm talking about how it's basically approaching that sexuality of women. And okay, off my soapbox. So this is talking about understanding. So I think honestly, this is talking about you. It can talk about secrets. It can talk about going deep into something. It can talk about this is somebody, by the way, the fourth dimension is somebody who has to experience that, just like the person on the train or the person outside. High Priestess has to feel things on her skin. And I have a feeling this is you, because you have been feeling this entire huge range of circumstances of things coming to you. And now you will actually be in a position which is not reactive, which is just a position almost as sitting on this throne. And this is kind of connected to the moon. So this is connected to moon, basically phases. It's also connected to, of course, female periods. So that's obviously some kind of like deep introversion and looking deep inside, and sort of like this really maternal cycle. And even if you're a guy, you're possibly connecting with your female side. You're connecting to your intuitive side, because you're stopping being instinctual. You guys have been very instinctual and very protective. You have been fighting for something that you have lost, and this fight has been wearing you down. And until you finally stopped and said, I have to work on myself, because the only person that can change is me, my own vibrations. And when I lift my own vibrations, things will work out. So Queen of Swords is somebody who's cutting a whole bunch of things out, but in a kind of rough way. So I think this is really connected with this card saying kind of like, yeah, just be aware, make this 360 around you, just see what's happening, think about the words, how they're going to come across, because altogether it looks nice, because the new person might be actually appearing. And for those of you who are singles, King of Wands is a total fun dude to date. King of Wands is like somebody who organizes fun dates, going different places, trying different things, not just like let's go for supper or let's go for coffee. You will maybe be in a trampoline park, you maybe will be, in a golf terrain. It's going to be really action-oriented thing. It's going to be really opening up the learning. So hence, actually meeting with somebody who is much different, that could be even cooler because you'll be learning completely different things and you will enjoy every second of it. So, since this is monthly and we are kind of like going just random decks and random information, I'm doing actually mini Grand Tableau over here for you. I just like want to see what comes out. Okay, Scorpio, October. Give me messages for Scorpio in October. Scorpio in October. Scorpio in October. The child, the clover, and the ship. So, the child can again be birth of some new ideas, just like what you had over there, something that is connected to that card sharing, which kind of is talking about playfulness. And again, we have butterflies, and the girl is like catching this butterfly, but I think you will find yourself in this net this month only if you want to be. Otherwise, you'll be exercising like you're this like newfound freedom and kind of like going higher and going up. The clever is, again, re-emphasizing that playfulness, re-emphasizing that certain kind of level of things will be coming your way. And the ship is again talking about these travels, which I have seen there. Something will happen, or it will be somebody from, interesting, the stork, could talk about promotion. Some of you might have a promotion that is maybe not where you live. So that's going to be interesting. But it could just simply mean that you'll be traveling somewhere else. So let me see with a mini Grand Tableau what we get here. So here you can see it. Interestingly, it's not giving me a lot of information because you're coming right here in a corner. And I'm seeing the communication. I'm seeing again this High Priestess kind of like information. The journaling means certain things are opening up, certain things that have been closed, right? You kind of for a while looks like had to work or wanted to work on your security. So where is your home and where do you put your anchor? There were issues. The mountain has been here, right? But something that I think came to you last month and something is going to last all the way until I would say the winter. It's going to be really important for you. And this is the High Priestess. And High Priestess is again related to Moon as well. And something has been brewing because you have the Moon and you have the stars here that maybe you didn't like. Maybe it looked on the surface as something that had a very negative reaction, or something might happen that is going to be surprisingly bad and weird thing that happens. And maybe that's the Queen of Swords reverse that we have seen. The truth is, it's not what it sees. No, it's not what it's seen. So be very careful of overreacting about that. And I'm going to clarify this moon. Where is this moon to clarify? Yeah, moon and a whip. It could be some kind of attraction for someone. I can just get one more. The whip could mean getting things out in the open. Yeah, it's, well, and again, 50 Shades of Grey. It's right here. It just came back to bite me. So there is the other person or the potential interest. If you don't have one, you might have some really kind of like interesting and possibly kind of kinky moments ahead. So basically, what is saying that there are like certain possible secrets about a partner that maybe you're inquiring, or that you will meet a person who, in a sense, is going to inherit a sense of mystery. And that's very alluring to you guys. But keep in mind that you have been going through this work that we talked about. And here I see you did cut certain things off. There were trips that you have already made, and some of you already had that job change, job promotion. Certain things have been kind of like really changing somewhere in June, back in June. You are kind of like wondering in which direction to go. The very last card is the Rider. This is talking about moving in a new direction. But you haven't reached that conclusion yet, because you're still kind of dealing with certain things that you want to unearth. Let me see that journal here. What is the journal here for? The journal for Scorpio. Okay. Are you guys in some kind of karmic relationship? Let me clarify what that means, because there's so much and everybody has a different terminology for that. If you guys want to know what your path is, contact me for a karmic reading, because I actually lay down the cards. I will totally tell you what kind of path you are going to live and what kind of obstacles you're going to have and why. You write your own soul contract, because everybody just like wants to meet their soulmate, etc. So, but nobody really wants to get on that cruise, on that soul trip. So how would you meet that soulmate? Just by wandering around and bumping into them, which is way more important than soulmate. Now, there are millions of soulmates. So yeah, I know that very well as an Aquarius. Just uncheck them. If somebody is creating problems, uncheck, delete number, off you go, because by hanging around, you're stopping yourself from a new lesson. There are exceptions. Exceptions are karmic soulmates. Karmic soulmates you literally write into your life path. You want these people to be there like a signposts. If you get lost on your way, these people are there to return you back. And sometimes it's harsh lessons. Sometimes you kind of bump in a wall and it's like, ouch. Sometimes it's a wonderful thing when you get this like ability to have this aha moment. So there is currently somebody around you that you might be very, very attracted to, or that you will just right now encounter, who is your karmic soulmate. And it's going to be discovery with this person. And it's going to be a huge attraction, because soulmates generally can be anything: brother, sister, dog, cat, mother, father. It can be any flavor, right? The karmic soulmates are usually the gender that we are attracted to. And the reason for that is like because they usually penetrate deeper into our well-being, into who we are, and they can really shake us up. So this is going to be some kind of attraction over here, and it could be through some kind of educational classes. Because the journal, yes, it talks about secrets. We don't know what is in this book, and we don't know what is written in this book. But the journal also talks about, solutions. What have we learned? Where are we going from there? So guys, have faith. It's going to be really interesting. That this basically time period, it's kind of like going to really help you to grow. The lady is also in a tree house, and the tree always is concerned about your own health. You'll be possibly taking steps for even better spiritual health, your spiritual hygiene. You have to ask yourself, how much work did you do lately, right? Have you been, paying attention to, how much you connect with the other people, that lay of the land that we talked about. So, in any case, you will be hit, and that's going to be that Dragonfly. That's going to be that Queen of Wands that we have seen. So, be careful, because when we get into karmic relationships, they are able to push lots of buttons, and so are you. So this is the person who you wrote in that you know already from possibly many, many different lifetimes. Now person is here to help you. It might not appear this way. It will appear at the end of your life. But this person feels always familiar. That's how you will know. And let me pull one of the cards from this Enchanted Map Oracle for a guidance. And gosh, you have a 33. That's a wonderful master number. So let me find here what it says. It's called Peaks of Joy. It says, your life is filled with happiness, so share it with others. Joy is yours today. No matter what your inquiry, you'll be happy with the results. You're coming closer to a sense of achievement, and you have worked hard for it. You're surrounded by true companions and events that are synchronistically arranged to bring you to the next level of your life. The world is singing a beautiful harmony. Life is exhilarating and hopeful. Let gratitude fill your heart. And remember to share your happiness. Joy is contagious. So my dear Scorpio, I love you. And I love to see this. So for your private reading, you can contact me. I can check this karmic mate, or I can just do your karma reading, unless maybe you can pick the other readings that are less in time but answer some very specific questions. So to check what I offer, you can do it via my website, www.cattarot.ca. And in the meantime, for those of you who want to join the focus group, please check it out, click for a second and fill out the form. And lastly, if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. And of course, please give me a thumbs up or down if you wish. And I hope to see you in the next round around the 15th. All the best, Scorpio. Love you.